you quite realize what you've got here. So why don't you just ruminate whilst I illuminate the possibilities? Well, Alibaba had them 40 thieves.
We are good to go.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Welcome back to the Curious Canvas. We are your hosts, Jem and Peekay, and this is episode 7. And today we'll be talking about Hamilton, which you actually got me into. You're the one who told me, hey, you need to watch this. And how'd you find about Hamilton?
My auntie Valerie from Tracy in California.
Okay.
She was the one that was telling me, have you watched Hamilton yet? It's coming out on Disney Plus. And she was the actually going back 2018 when we went with Chelsea to the U.S. and we went to New York. When we were going to New York at the time, she was telling us to go watch Hamilton because it was out. And I was like, oh, yeah.
you want, so when you first told me, I was like, Hamilton musical. I'm not the biggest musical guy out, but then especially when I first put it on, I was like, bro, this is 2 hours and a half. I'm like, he's like, bro, watch it. I'm like, you're like, bro, watch it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. First 3 minutes, loved it.
Yeah, from straight off the bat, huh?
Off the gate.
So my auntie was like, go watch it out there, and instead we watched Lion King out in Broadway. But like you were saying, first 3 minutes, right? It's crazy because they say it's the musical, it's the non-musical people, and it suddenly gets you interested in musicals and theater. Like even for first timers, I watched it at home with Chelsea, my cousin Angelo, or all my cousins. We all watched it, and they don't watch musicals, but he was like, I want to go watch it when it comes out in Australia. In March 21, my birthday, 2021, if we can. Yeah. We'll set up. We'll all go.
No, I can't wait. So anyway, if anyone's never watched it about, so what it is Hamilton is a musical, and it's pretty much infused with hip hop, R&B, and jazz, and obviously musical numbers as well.
Heavy hip hop.
So Alexander Hamilton was an orphan immigrant from the Caribbeans, so he was interracial. Like a lot of people think he was white because he just looked predominantly white. And he was a founding father and the first secretary of Treasury in America. Yeah. But the way the person that wrote it was Lin Manuel. I gotta get his name right because I don't. I was like, I
get his name right. For sure.
Lin Manuel.
Respect to that
Miranda. He pretty much wrote the play as well as composed the music.
I learned so much within those 2 hours and a half of the U.S. American history, and like you said, it was about the founding fathers. Within those 2.5 hours, than I have ever. Like I learned so much straight off the bat. What it is, it's like tradition. It's about the traditional founders of America for the people of today's America. So it's made. Back then it was all the founders, and they were British trying to revolt against the British.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Americans that were living out there already, trying to revolt against the monarchy and the British.
Yeah.
And the way they've made this musical is it looks like people of today.
Yeah.
It looks like what's happening right now with Black Lives Matter. And it's not just about black people when it comes to, it's all about U.S. revolting against not just systemic racism, but how the system was made by the founding fathers back then. But we got to say it was predominantly white back then.
Yeah, 100%.
So it was made,
100%.
and they've gone into, and as you can see, they were white back then, and they were revolting against the British.
Yeah,
monarchy. They felt like they didn't really have a voice, but they wanted to implement their own not just their own system, but they wanted to have their own rights. They wanted to have they wanted to feel equal. They wanted to feel like they were their own people.
Yeah.
And what did? They revolted against the British. There was wars, if you watch in Hamilton, there was wars and everything. So it does work.
Yeah.
It does work. So you guys, everyone out there, keep on doing your thing. Do it in shout out to everyone in the NBA, always highlighting it and everything going on still. People still protesting. We're like maybe 2 months in from George Floyd's death.
Yeah.
It works. So, and you can feel it. It's different now than it was when 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Like it does feel different now.
I mean, it's definitely a slow progress, but I think, like the play was only 2 hours and a half, but when you look at like the whole thing, it'd probably be like years and years and years.
Oh yeah.
But like, and that's kind of how this is going to be. Like, yeah, it's to change, small change, but like every change does help.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the main thing. But with the musical though, I love it. I love the whole hip hop influence. Straight off the gate, the first song, Hamilton, there was breakdancing in it, and I was just like, oh, okay, what's
this different?
Yeah.
This different, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if did your auntie tell you there's gonna be hip hop?
No, she said go watch Hamilton the musical, and I'm thinking like
Shakespeare in the party.
Not just
no, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
No, I was thinking like, what's that little boy? That musical with that little boy dances around. Anyways, I was thinking something like that, like some little
like a bunch of white people in tights and just like doing their thing. I don't know.
Boy Story.
Yeah, you know, this was amazing because it was just so many different races, and like obviously it was predominantly no, I wouldn't say like half 50-50, predominantly black, I guess, black and Hispanic people in it, and that's what I liked about it. You know,
yeah, like I was saying before, it shows the diversity. That's why it did so well. I think he performed in front of Barack Obama in 2015.
Yeah, the first song he actually showed to the public was in front of Barack Obama. And then you see like a year later, obviously he wrote more songs to it. That's crazy. So Lin Manuel, I've seen him in a few different smaller TV shows. He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And he was like played Amy Santiago's sister. And even in a few other shows, but I've never actually like paid attention to him.
Yeah.
When I watched Hamilton, I'm like, this guy was the lead, and then like
he doesn't look like the lead as well. When you're watching it, you were like, they should. You think someone that was lead would look like the lead? He doesn't really look like the lead, but he's a genius. You can't take anything away from him. So like, he needs to be that guy.
I mean, the bars in it, like the way he was sandwiching the multiple syllables in it, that was crazy about it. And I was thinking like, I mean, so when something popped up before I watched Hamilton, but I didn't watch it, and then you got me onto watching it. He rapped alongside with Nas and I forgot the other rapper was.
But the musical's soundtrack.
Yeah. But there's actually a video clip, and so I'm like, and at before Hamilton, I saw it, but I never watched it. And then I was just like, okay, who's this guy? Like I knew who he was, but I was like, that's weird. Then I watched it, and I was like, oof. Now I see why he's rapping alongside, because the way he's rapping, the bars that he has,
it was good, huh? I remember, going back to the hip hop side of it. Obviously, you know, you're going to watch it. You're like, oh, okay, we'll watch this musical. We had the family over. We'll just watch it. Yeah. And we'll see, you know, have something on while we're just hanging out. Yeah. All of us just there watching and doing this because the beats are good. Yeah. The beats, the lyrics are good.
Oh, the battling? Do you remember the battling? The battling was so good.
So good. That's another thing. If you try and, it's not a theme, but, you know, hip hop itself was created so that they could voice the messages of the situations that they are in. Yeah. You know, I'm pretty sure it was in your jacket. It was created somewhere in New York. Yeah. I don't know what year, maybe the 60s, 70s, but they're trying to spread, they're trying to voice out through art, through rapping and all of hip hop culture. So putting it and telling and spreading your message, and they were just doing that, and they've converged it with 1776, the founding fathers of America, and they were trying to get their message across. Yeah. So having that, just those two messages, really the contrast between both of those, trying to get your message across alongside hip hop, bro. That's why it works. That's why that musical is a hit. Yeah. You can watch it on Disney Plus, by the way.
It's
Disney
so
Plus.
good.
Give them a plug.
plug. Disney needs the plug, so that's why we give it to you. No, but like even the way, like how fast they rap as well. When you look at Hamilton's wife's sister, Eliza. Yeah, I think her name's Eliza.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that stuff.
Yeah. No, we will. But like her verse when she was rapping in Satisfied. And she's just standing up properly, and it was just like bar after bar after bar, and how fast she's rapping. I'm like, oof, and she's like what? She's like she was in her 40s when she was rapping that as well. Like this girl's got so
and
much
it's not cringy. It's not like John Cena rapping wrestling. It's legit bars.
Yeah.
Like they are talented.
I love the sprinkle of everything, even like the musical number. Oh, actually, you know what? So I'll ask you this: what's your favorite numbers in it? Your favorite songs? Do you have any? Off the top of your head?
No, not the top of my head.
So me, I loved what's his name again? So the guy who played Kristoff in Frozen, he was actually the king. He played King George.
I didn't know that.
You'll be back. You know, he's just like you'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I love that song because all I was thinking about was like, I mean, I'll sing this to all my exes.
Of course.
You'll be back. Or like how they keep on. Or
Man, this guy.
or like how I love. What was that Alan Burr? Yeah, Alan Burr, Mr. Burr. I love how he kept bringing up whenever he rhymes something about Alexander Hamilton. He's just like, how does a bastard, son of a whore and a Scotsman, drop in the forgotten? And I was like, oh, see that? But you see the multiple syllables in it, and he wrote all of that.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's crazy. I think next time they do come around, because I think they were planning to do another play next year, but it's a new lead though. It won't be Lin Manuel.
Oh, he's not. He won't actually go do it.
No, it'll be somebody else.
He comes out to Australia.
They said they were coming to Australia.
Yeah, I know that, but we'll see what happens with coronavirus. But
yeah, he
won't play the main lead.
No, he won't. It's another guy got the lead. I don't know his name. It's a white guy though. He still might be good.
Bummer,
he still might be good. I think you know what? It's a bad.
If Hamilton had have just came out here, it wouldn't be as successful as it would be right now because it's on Disney Plus and we've watched it and people are talking about it.
They should capitalize on it. They should bring
him. He's the star. He's the star of the show now. That's what we want to see. We've already seen it on Disney Plus. We want to see. It's like going to a wrestling show and Randy Orton some other guy.
I don't know if you can do. Yeah, I get that. I don't know if you can do that. Though, yeah, you see someone else with an RKO. No, I like it. It is weird that they wouldn't capitalize on it, especially how big of a hit Hamilton was on Disney Plus, because a lot of people are tuning into Disney Plus just for that now.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's really weird that they wouldn't do that.
Speaking of with Hamilton. I learned about the guy himself, the character himself. I don't know how much he's different from the real Hamilton to what's in the musical, but he's very self-centered.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie though. There's a lot of players in this. I'm not gonna swear, right? I'm not gonna swear in this episode, but there's a lot of players in this episode though.
Would you say a player?
A player.
So you mean a fuck boy?
Okay, you can say that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you see a bunch of fuck boys in this. I'm like, he had a beautiful wife. There was
no social media back then.
Yeah, there wasn't. There was letters though. There was letters. That's where Gene got it from.
He got done, bro.
I love how he told
easy to get caught slipping back then.
Yeah, you know what? It was a big ruckus when that happened too.
Oh, actually no, it's not as easy as it is now. Socials are fucked.
Yeah. Oh, nah. No, I've been through that. So I'm good. Anyway, back to the thing. But yeah, there's a lot of players in that.
But you could see, there's a lot of players, a lot of fuckboys, but he's the biggest fuckboy of them all. He would always neglect his wife, his son. His son was like, let's
I don't. You know what though? I don't like one advice he gave him. I know it's back in the day, so we don't understand this part. If someone wanted to, I know back in the day when you fight someone, you don't do fist fights. You pretty much have a gun. And then you walk backwards, and then you face, and then you shoot each other, right? So I forgot what it's called. We Hawking or something.
I don't know.
But anyway, so I don't know. Would you tell your son, hey, put your pistol in the sky, and that other guy, he'll know like you respect him. I'm like, I don't know if I want my kid to take that chance. Would you say that to your kid?
No. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's just
And then he did the same thing.
At the start, I was like, this guy's cool. He's cool. Whatever he's trying to do, he's trying to change America. He's trying to put everything on his shoulders.
Yeah.
But then he just, you see the duality of the person where I know people have a goal in mind, but still, like Kobe Bryant always had a goal in mind to win a championship. You'd have to sacrifice time with your family and that, but he would always, when he's not with his when he gets back off the road and gets back home, I'm sure he would have been like spending time with his wife, spending time with his daughters and stuff.
Yeah.
This guy would be with them already, and he's just like,
yeah.
oh no, I gotta go.
I mean, like he was a founding father. I mean, he wrote like what 56. So I forgot how many.
That was the main priority in his life.
Yeah, and like he obviously
and his sister. I mean, his wife's sister.
That's so bad. This is how much of a fuckboy he is then. So he he found the love of his life at the time, but he was still trying to get with the sister. I think there was a rumor that more than likely they did get with each other. And he still cheats with her. He still cheats on his wife with another person. I'm like, this guy, like, bro, stop. Like, you know, like this girl's holding it down for you. She's raising your kids. Like, stop.
She has a song about him, and then
helpless.
Yeah, helpless.
Yeah, of course you are, because you don't know the situation.
And he has a song about her.
Oh yeah, that's cringy.
And
I mean, like, in a good cringy, like they played it off all well, but yeah, it's just when you actually look back on it, you're just like, man, she should have walked away.
But yeah, oh man, who's wrong in that situation?
I mean, he's wrong, 100% he's wrong.
But that's your sister's husband.
Oh, who's wrong out of the two? Whoa!
The sister.
Wait! But the sister originally liked her.
Yeah, I know, but
he liked her.
Yeah, but then she was like, even in the song, in the lyrics, it's like, I don't know word for word, but the feeling in the lyrics was like, I've got a crush on you, but you're now gonna marry my sister.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I would never be able to do that to my sister. But I hope you're happy. In that sense, it's around something like that. So why are you still? Why would you still get with her?
Yeah. Well, you could tell he was a fuckboy. Even like even the there was a song before that where I think everyone came. And the song was called Winter's Ball, and they're like they were talking about like ladies and women and everything. And then you know why we do this for the ladies. And then they start dancing with all the girls and everything. I'm just like fuckboys. That's 100% you and Robbie right there, just singing that. What? Back in the day. Maybe back in the day.
What are you trying to do, bro?
I'm not trying to do anything.
What are you trying to do, bro? Chelsea come in here next fucking...
back in the day, not anymore.
Yeah.
I'm Alex Byrne, though, because I'm just caring.
But yeah, all in all, I enjoyed the musical a lot. You guys got to check it out for sure. It's really good. Like I said at the start, it's one of those musicals that you need to watch.
Well, you know what? Like, there's a lot of stuff when you watch something like, people will always tell you, give it 30 minutes, give it 2 episodes, give it like hours, you'll get into it. This is something I give it 3 minutes and you'll be like, okay, this is not what I expected. Because 2 hours and a half is a long time to watch a movie. You know, but when I watched it, I was like, oof, what's the next
For those trying to do, what's it called? You know how there's Netflix and chill and there's Disney Plus and, What's the Disney Plus one? I know. There's something. Disney Plus and Us? No.
That's a good one. I'm gonna use
But
that.
if you're going to do Disney Plus and Us...
I'm 100% going to use that. Disney Plus and Us.
If you're going to do Disney Plus and Us, you definitely don't put on Hamilton because you're going to want to watch this.
Yeah. So Hamilton comes in 2 acts. The first act is pretty much about Hamilton going into New York and then... what he does in the war. The second act is pretty much what he does post the war, and how he becomes the Secretary of Treasury in America. So it's 2 acts. It is a little bit long, but it's good. I really wish though, because it was in Australia back in the day, right? Like in 2016, I'm sure it was. Because it did worldwide.
It wasn't what? It didn't come here.
I'm sure it would have came to Australia. Because it was pretty big. It got huge.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't. To be honest, I've never actually seen a musical. Have you seen many musicals?
Yeah, I don't think Hamilton's been here. 2016, he would have done its wave and ride and gone big in America. I don't think it would have been here. I think the first time it's coming to Australia is next year because of Disney Plus's what do you call it? You know, the buzz around it.
We're watching it, right? We're watching it.
Oh yeah, we'll watch it. It's my birthday. We'll do like a birthday thing. We'll all go to watch it.
I'm down for that.
I know my cousins when we watch it, they want to go watch. He likes hip hop. Angela likes hip hop. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, we'll all go watch it for my birthday.
No, 100%.
Yeah, back to musicals.
Just hold to the car.
So growing up, I used to go with my Lolo and my dad. Sometimes they'll take me to like the Rocky Horror Show, like that boat show musical one, the one that they still have.
Yeah. I haven't been to it. Yeah.
A few musicals when I was younger. Adult wise, the only ones that I remember.
What did you saying? Lion King? You was talking about Lion King?
Yeah, I wore this jacket in Lion King. Lion King on Broadway in New York. That was in 2018. Me and Chelsea went.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Oh, you went. Wait, you went in Sydney, right? Too, right?
No. I never went when it was in Sydney.
Wait, what was?
I watched Willy Wonka here in Sydney.
Oh, gotcha.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I watch here in Sydney.
Okay. How's Lion King? Everyone always tells me it's amazing.
It's probably the best. Yeah. We watched it. So imagine watching. You know how everyone talks about, oh, I'd love to be on Broadway theater. Bro, I watched the best one ever.
Yeah.
And my favorite movie ever.
Yeah.
In Broadway. I wasn't gonna watch it here in Sydney.
Yeah.
And I was privileged enough to watch it in Broadway. And I probably would have if like a family friend or a friend like me and you were like, let's go watch it. Or when me, you, and Ralph went in New York in 2014, let's go watch. I don't know why we didn't.
I don't know why we didn't either.
What the?
Yeah.
But I would have watched it. But you know, it was different. It was good to watch it with the love of your life. So I went to watch Lion King out there. Like you all know, or people that have just tuned in to our podcast, Lion King is my favorite movie of all time. So I watched it out there, and what makes it great, you know the songs already.
Was there extra songs? Was there any extra? I've never watched it.
Oh yeah. No, there's some extra songs. There are some extra songs, but most of it. Are there extra songs, or am I getting confused now with Lion King, the new movie that's come out? I don't. That I need to get back to you on that one.
Okay.
But Lion King, the musical, amazing. I remember from the start, bro. I was so tired that night as well. You know when you're traveling and you're around New York, all you do, and you feel it. You feel it as well when you're there. It's just so fast paced. The time just goes like this, and they
New York minute.
New York
it's 100%. It's a New York minute.
It feels like Sydney on steroids. Like you think you're fast out here, we're fast rat race out here. When you're there, remember we walked in, we go JFK, we landed. Tita and Kathleen picked us up.
Yeah.
We get there, and I remember all I ever remember is, oh, okay, and we're back at the airport.
Yeah,
it goes like
it
that.
Felt so fast.
You know, and we're doing 7 to 10 days in New York.
Yeah.
And it just goes like that.
Yeah.
There's never enough time. I'm sure my cousin that lives there and like all my friends that live there now working, time would just, even they haven't seen like 5% of New York because it's so big and there's so much to do. Yeah. Anyways, back to the musical. From the start, we were tired because we were doing stuff throughout the day and we were watching at night, and we spent good money on this.
I could imagine.
And it was and it was on the day we bought the ticket. It wasn't like we planned it months ago. Like
we bought you was like,
yeah,
watch the show.
Yeah, because it's like they usually have nearly every day they've got a show on.
Yeah,
and they go, it's amazing, bro. Well, even just entering that, I don't know what's a musical that theater's name of where Lion King is. It's not just like going into the theater that we go, like Capitol Theater, and it's just Capitol Theater, blah, blah, blah. Everything is made and tailored for Lion King. So as you're walking up, like there's all these Lion King, everything
like
here.
a jungle type of thing?
Yeah, not jungle, but like all the stuff on the wall is about Lion King, like fit outs, and everything is just there. It's all about Lion King. We bought merchandise. You go in, and from the start, you're watching the stage, but then there's like animals coming by this, like the
animals.
Yeah, like you know, live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like live
props.
People coming down, animals, and then just so much. And then the little kid that plays Simba, and then when he gets big, and then the big Samoan-looking dude that plays Simba when Mufasa that comes out.
Yeah.
And it's just so much going on while you're watching. Like something's going here, people flying there, and just everything's happening all at once. Plus, you know all the songs, so you're just like really getting into it, and you just remember when you were a kid watching it when you were a kid.
I gotta ask the question. Did you and Chelsea feel emotional when the first song came out, Circle of Life?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because you're just like, wow, we're actually here. Like, this is real. We're out watching the Lion King Broadway musical in Broadway.
No, you first go.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It was just like, wow, how blessed and grateful, like how blessed am I to be. Everyone always says like, oh yeah, it's a Broadway musical, and then watching here in Sydney. But like, I was watching the best one in New York. I know people from New York watching this now, that they're like, oh yeah, it's not that big. But like for me, it's a big deal coming from, you know.
I think anyone would find like, look, it's Lion King, Broadway, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I gotta ask this question because I haven't seen it obviously, but a make or break I think of Lion King, and probably this is where the new movie fell off with for me personally.
Oh,
how was we already talked about this in the first episode?
Yeah,
but how was the death scene about Mufasa in the musical? Because I don't.
You can feel the emotion in it.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely can feel the emotion in it. And that's what I was gonna say. The kid that plays young Simba, he's great. I don't know what your name is, but bro, you're good. You're gonna be somebody.
You have
when
a future.
You, grow up.
You have a future.
No, not just you are the future. You're the guy. He plays his role very well. He feels like Simba in the movie, but he has his own swag to it. Yeah. And it's live, and you know this kid is talented. Oh man. Yeah, everyone in that movie is great. You gotta, I want to watch that again when it comes out to Sydney, or when I go back to New York, I might go watch it again. Yeah.
No, I had chances to watch musicals, but to be honest, I never thought I'd be into it that much. I've had people come up to me and say, you should watch the Wizard of Oz one, about the witches.
Yep.
Yeah, and apparently that's amazing. And The Lion King.
Aladdin came out here. I wish I watched Aladdin when it came out here. Didn't get to watch that.
The only musical I kind of watched, it wasn't even a musical, it was an orchestra. It was with Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Nah, that was so good. I felt emotional. Cool. I felt emotional. Have you felt emotional while watching a musical?
Yeah, for sure. You can feel it because it's different. It's live orchestra. It's live. Yeah. You can feel the music.
Well, not to go back to Hamilton, but like when you go back to Hamilton and when you're hearing George Washington, the actor sing all of his songs, like one of his last songs, I felt emotional. I'm like, I'm watching this through a TV. Imagine if I was there live. I loved it. So perfect.
So that's what I'm saying. So you got to go watch it live.
I hope a lot of the same characters do come back though. I understand. Like Alexander definitely is the Hamilton role. That definitely is a miss if Lin's not playing him. But I hope Burr plays the same character. Everyone else, I don't really see the Frozen guy coming back because he's he's doing well in his career. Hopefully he does come back though.
Yeah. Hopefully they all come back. I'm down. I can't wait to go watch Hamilton in March 2021.
Yeah. Oh man, we're getting tickets early.
But yeah, I definitely have watched musicals. I'm excited because Chelsea, obviously she wants to get into acting or like theater herself, so she loves that. She's the one that you know how you're like, oh, do you get emotional? Yeah, I get emotional. Well, I don't get Chelsea emotional. Chelsea's very like,
what's the level?
She's into it. We'll be watching movies and like, oh my gosh, I'm so emotional. And then I get it. Well, but then at the same time, like I want to cry too, but like I'm just going, nah, you know,
just got that manifest slide. It's like just another day. It's just another day.
Chelsea's like really, she really gets into movies, and she loves the arts. She loves theater, and like acting. She sees it. She probably sees it in a different light than I do because she sees how. They are all doing, and I see it in the way of, wow, this guy knows every single line and he's not reading off anything. He's just going.
Yeah.
Hamilton. Imagine knowing every single line of the raps and then your lines of.
Then you have to act like, would you have to act?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So like it's crazy. So
respect.
I found this earlier. So a lot of there's some musicals that they don't sing the whole way around in acts, you know, but Hamilton. They did try it at the very start where they did have like the voiceovers, but then they're like it didn't work. So then the whole way through, everything is line by line, bar by bar, everything is all live. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about musicals and just like how talented those people are. That's what, especially me, like. So I love hip hop dancing. I love that culture, and I love how much they bring it to Hamilton. Yeah, you know. But it is weird though. Like, as in, you can see that even though Lin as a rapper, he's amazing. Vocal wise, he kind of probably did fell off compared to everyone else because everyone else had very high vocals. Yeah, you know, when you look at George Washington, the guy who plays George Washington, you know what? Yeah, he was my favorite in the whole thing. I loved his songs. Right Hand Man. Washington by Your Side. There was so many. History has its eyes on you. By the way, I drive.
Watching.
I've been listening to the soundtrack.
The soundtrack. I need to do that. I want to listen, and the one that I sent you that was released like 4 years ago. My cousin was telling me after the thing, he goes, I always listen to the Hamilton soundtrack, and it has big artists on it. Name some of the art. Do you remember some of the artists that's on it?
You mean on the
not the soundtrack, on that album?
The album. Oh yeah. So there's obviously the musical soundtrack, and then there's also a soundtrack that was inspired by it. Yeah. That has Nas, Busta Rhymes, Snow the Product. I think it was KRS-One, which would make sense because from New York. I think Treach from Naughty by Nature. Tretch from Naughty by Nature. So many talented artists. And then you see Lin Manuel. He hops up. Lin Manuel, as well as a few of the people of the cast, they pop up as well towards it. I love it. Even like there was with Snow the Product, he released a song. There was a song on the musical as well. Immigrants Make It Happen, and I'm like, I love that. If you actually watch the video clip with Snow the Product, the song is good, but the whole video clip, you just see Asians, you see Latino people, you see black people, you see all of these people. I'm just like, I love this.
Immigrants make it happen.
100%. 100%.
For sure. Immigrants making it happen is when listening to that, you do feel that sense. I can't say I made it. No, I haven't done much in my life. But if you think of all the people that have come before us out here that have taken steps to build Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
But not even just that. Even if you look at like a smaller town, but it's not really that small. Like you look at, I don't know about your parents, but like my granddad, he came here, not a word of English. He was Maltese, barely could speak English.
That's it. That's all of our family.
Yeah. And like, you look how well everyone comes from there, where they build a family and they could actually stick with it as well. I mean, that's like, thank you for all of those people just having that hard-working mind. That's 100% what that lyric means. Immigrants make it happen.
Yeah, and then with the next generation, we're the next Australian generation. Yeah, and then we do other great things in our lives. So we definitely make it happen. And then there's the other sense of. Remember I told you I've been watching all the Mafia.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
All the Mafia things all week. I've just been drained in a hole watching Mafia stories and documentaries after watching Netflix's Mafia. Yeah. Evil City, New York versus the Mafia. And then you just see that. And then you see the Mafia not owning, but they really took over New York, and not New York, all the other cities in America back then. The Italian Mafia, and they're building cities. Obviously, they've done it in a whole different sense. Yeah. But they've definitely built it as immigrants have built the city, or the amount of influence they had on building New York and the power and the culture that they had. Yeah. And you can see it with all our family and our friends and all of our friends' parents that are doing great things in the world. And I love, like I told you before, I love having, you're half Maltese, half Vietnamese. I love having all my Filipino, obviously I have a lot of Filipino friends as well, but I love having my white Australian brothers, my Tongan, Samoan,
Chilenos for me, and Argentinians.
Yeah, for sure, Chilenos, and all my other immigrant-born friends and family, basically family in my life now, and I just haven't ever seen division. I just see diversity, and it's normal to me, and I've always loved that. So, shout out to everyone, and proud of everyone's parents for, moving. I want to do an episode on that one day. Just leaving everything. I would never be able to. I could do it now because I'm a bit more established now. But just to leave your family to a foreign land where you can't speak the language, you don't know what's about to happen. You got no job set. You got nothing set. You're just like, I'm just gonna because it's so hard out here.
It is.
There is nothing happening for me out here, and I am going to take my chance and go out to this country. Everyone says it's all right in Australia or in the US or whatever. I'm going to go take my chance and move out here. And I know all my family in the States, in California. I talk to them about it as well. I'll sit down with them and we'll just talk. I like talking and listening to their story as well. Yeah. And, man, I just tell them, I'll go, man, I'm proud. Like, telling you right now, like, I'm proud of you because look at this house that we're in right now. My family in Tracy, or my family in Carson, California, my uncle Eugene. I'll talk to him and we talk for hours, and I know a bit sidetracked here, but like,
no, but it's good that you know what? I respect you so much for saying that, because like, I think a lot of people, including myself, a lot of people should take their time and just like, especially if you're coming from
privileged.
Yeah, but like the reason why it's privileged, you're privileged because of your family building that wall, building brick by brick, because that's to be honest, that's pretty much what they did. You know, you have this blessing in your life, you have that mentality in your life because of the people that have built that path for you. Like, obviously the future path, that's always up to you, but before that though, you have to know where you came from. That's to know where you're going.
You're 100% right with that. And what I always like to say as well, and I'll also think about it as well. So we were born to go to school. Obviously, a lot of people say like, "Oh, that life, fuck that life." Fair enough. I'm not judging anything, but I'm just saying a lot of people would dream to go to school and all that. But Chelsea tells me all the time, you were blessed to have a good family, good home, and then you went through and you've had a good childhood. You had a good everything, growing up and everything. And I know. So, what was I going to say? All the people that I like to speak to in regards to that whole building everything, everyone has their own story. And I from a well-privileged life that I've had, I like to listen to, your parents will say, I came here with, it's the same story. I came here with $20 in my pocket. And, I've been able to send you to school, send you to all this, all that. And I've just I'm living off that, and it's just generation. You just keep building on that. I listen to my uncle talk and I tell him like I was saying, look how big this house is. You made this. Yeah. I'm proud of you. It's crazy that you were able to move from this country. I mean, from the Philippines, or from, shout out to my uncle Ty. You were able to move from Cambodia. And you were able look at this massive house. Look at your nice cars that you guys have. And I'm not saying it's you earned it. You definitely earned it.
But even just that, even just like families who maybe don't have the greatest place in greatest house or anything, keeping it all together and building a better life in another country, because. You
so expensive to live out here too.
You kind of 100%. You kind of talked about this.
Sorry, before I lose that point, and remember what you were about to say. I had something to say and I just forgot. What I was going to say is how I look at some people and they're doing a very day-to-day kind of and and they're not. I feel like they have so much more potential. I see it as, they have so much more potential. And I'm like, man, and you can hear it in their mentality is so different. Like, they don't really want to work so hard to do something kind of in a way. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, imagine the disrespect you're showing your parents that moved from overseas, did all the sacrifices for you to just be a lazy bitch, bro. Yeah. And I don't have many of that in my life anymore. I really don't. But then I just try and think, bro, the people that moved and sacrificed so much for you, and you just being don't really want to. I'm sure you had dreams when you were a kid, but then you're not even trying to do nothing about it because you're just stuck. I'm just like that. Don't you ever think that's so disrespectful to your parents that sent you to this school, nice private school, for you to have the best opportunity, and you're just gonna be lazy? It's disrespectful. That's what I was gonna say. I get but no judgment to you.
I mean, I think, but people can change though. That's the thing, though.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. But I'm just saying, at at that point in time when I'm like with certain people, and then I'm just like, all right, cool.
But even just like wherever your future does take you, like one thing with me, especially with my grandparents, because I was raised by them, like they're Maltese, hardworking people.
Yeah.
Sure. I just learned the same thing. There was one state, like, and this is stupid of me when I was younger. Obviously, I wasn't the greatest person. I wasn't the greatest kid in school. Like I jigged a lot of times in high school. It was stupid. And straight away, when my granddad saw me doing that, he was just like, "What are you doing?" Then he even just like he got me more involved in school, but also just working on the side as well. All right, you're gonna work then. If you're not gonna put your head in the book, you're gonna work then. You're not gonna be my grandson staying at home. What are you doing? It's like, let's go, get up.
That's what I mean. Like just being lazy. Like I don't want to work. Like I'll live off my parents or like.
And having that instilled in me, that definitely carried over. And like love that. Thank you.
For sure. Immigrant, there's like an immigrant mentality.
100%.
Everyone knows immigrants when they've come over, they work hard.
I mean, could you imagine telling like your family just like, I don't know what else to do, like as in you're lazy at home, not doing anything, just like, oh, I don't know what to do, like it's just hard to look for a job, like, and your dad just probably like maybe when he first got it, just like, I didn't know how to speak English and I got this job, like I got this roof over your head. I did all this for you. Saying. What is your excuse?
That's what I'm saying. There is no excuse. Fucking work it out, bro.
100%. Well, that was good. Hamilton. Definitely, next year?
Yeah. 2021. My birthday. We'll go watch that musical live. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
That's it. Episode 7.
Oh, man.
Master, I don't think you quite